5 on your side at 10 starts now.
After a hot and sometimes stormy weekend, things have dried off here tonight. We've got heat, though, back in the forecast tomorrow. Then a cold front arrives next week. I've got your latest forecast coming up.
In the path of the storm, the damage tonight in Bridgeton, and the possible connection to the March 14th tornado. Remembering a young boy who died at his daycare.
The thought of that just was beyond devastation.
The special community gathering tonight for Conrad Ashcraft, just days after his caretaker was indicted for murder.
5 on your side starts now with a weather impact alert.
The storms have cleared out, but the dangerous heat remains, and a weather impact alert remains in effect tonight and for tomorrow as kids head back to school. Good evening, I'm Mike Bush. Let's get right to weather impact meteorologist Lance Blocker, who has more on the dangerous heat, and he was also tracking those storms as they move through tonight. Lance.
Yeah, as the heat and the humidity work together this afternoon, combined for a lot of energy for today's storms, though most of us still stay dry, but still a few locations that did get rain, likely got heavy rain and a lot of frequent lightning as well. This is a radar loop as we reach the peak daytime hours, the peak heating of the daytime hours, that's when the storms fired off. But as soon as the sun set, pretty much everything was out of the area. We expect a repeat performance for us here tomorrow as well. Temperatures have cooled off, rain cooled off to the west in the 70s for many locations. Warrenton's at 77 degrees, Chesterfield's at 76. Scott Air Force Base, though, still holding on to the mid 80s. Even at this late hour. Temperatures tomorrow warm right back close to the century mark. 99 degrees for us in downtown St. Louis. Scott Air Force Base checking in 96 degrees, 95 degrees over in Sullivan there as well. And again, a heat advisory stays in effect for us tomorrow through 8 p.m. But we do have some good news. We've talked about this. This cold front is on its way. It's set to arrive here for Tuesday. That means a decrease in temperatures. I won't say cool off, but it'll decrease in temperatures once that front moves through, and rain chances arrive with it as well. I've got the detailed forecast coming up in about 10 minutes.
A strong storm in Bridgeton this afternoon toppled a large tree onto a house. There were 2 people in the house at the time, and they were both okay. This is on Unity Drive, which is just a street over from where an EF2 tornado did some major damage back in March. The Pattonville fire chief says that storm could have played a part in the tree falling over.
The frustration with the burst and we've had a tornado in March and May, and, this could be, secondary damage from that, just weakened trees and roots.
Fire chief says the 2 people in the home relocated and do have a place to stay. Ameren is working to restore power to neighboring homes. Tonight, a father is facing child endangerment charges accused of leaving his 2 small children inside a hot car in St. Anne. This happened yesterday afternoon outside the Aldi store on St. Charles Rock Road. Police say the temperature was 96 degrees, the heat index 107 at the time. Someone saw the kids in the car with the windows up and called police. The kids are expected to be okay. The father was arrested. And for more information on staying safe in the dangerous heat and where to find a cooling center near you, just text the word HEAT to 314-425-5355 and we'll send you a link. A community gathered in prayer tonight, remembering a young boy who died at a St. Francis County daycare. New at 10, 5 on your side's Andy Kroll heard from Conrad Ashcraft's loved ones about their memories as a woman is indicted for murder.
The steps of the Farmington courthouse were transformed into a space to honor 3-year-old Conrad Ashcraft. He was found dead inside a daycare in May when his mom went to pick him up at Poppy's Playhouse in Park Hills. Months after officials began investigating the suffocation death of Ashcraft, Tiffany Hedrick, a daycare employee, was indicted on second-degree murder charges and child abuse.
I was elated to know that there was something being done. His life was not in vain.
According to Thursday's indictment, another armed criminal action charge relates to the 18-pound weighted blanket that was placed on top of Ashcraft. His parents filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the daycare.
I've been counseling with the family for a while now. Just be very patient. Give it time. Give it time. The system works. I promise the system works. And to see it was such a relief for them.
Ashcraft was nonverbal with autism.
It was even worse because he could not speak. He could not say, please stop, I can't breathe. He could not get those words out.
An emotional song was written by the family's pastor, Dean Berry, and his wife, Andrea Berry, from Crossroads Worship Center in Park Hills.
we just pray that it's in some way blesses the family and gives people something to sing together and come together with.
We Speak Your Name being performed on Sunday night. Ashcraft's impact continuing to spread as a new law still makes its way through the Missouri legislature. It's called Conrad's Law and would lead to safer daycares, especially when it comes to the use of weighted blankets and more mandatory employee trainings. Reporting in Farmington, Annie Krall, 5 on your side.
Hedrick is being held without bond. She is due back in court on Friday. Right now, St. Louis police are investigating a deadly shooting in the LaSalle Park neighborhood. A man was shot to death on South 10th Street just before 5 tonight. Police have not released any other details, but will continue to try and get you more information. In about 48 hours, the St. Charles City Council will vote on the future of a proposed data center. As 5 on your side's Laura Barczewski shows us, thousands of residents signed a petition against the controversial project. Laura.
Mike, most of the residents I talked with are against more possible contamination in this area where they get their drinking water, while supporters are focused on the jobs it would bring and a possible boost to the economy.
An unnamed company wants to build a huge data center on 440 acres in St. Charles. The land is part of the Elm Point well field and borders decades of contamination on the Fendette Corporation Superfund site. Corb Maxwell is an attorney for what they're calling Project Cumulus.
Everything that we're doing is being done to the highest standards and should not impact that site or any of that area in any way whatsoever. One of the things that I would note, though, is a benefit that's happening with this project is to be able to serve the data center, we're going to have to make significant upgrades to the city's water system.
While many city officials can't legally discuss this project with the press, the fact sheet they released points to those infrastructure upgrades as a reason to support the site. So they wouldn't have to rely on contaminated wells, which they're still in a legal battle with Ameren over. Mayor Dan Borgmeyer previously voiced his support for the center and was at the open house.
I've talked to a lot of people who are in favor of it. You know, one of the things about data centers all over the United States, and there's a plethora of them everywhere, they generate considerable income for the communities they're in.
But even after learning more, residents are still concerned.
After seeing how it's affected cities such as Memphis or down in Georgia, it's just something that shouldn't be near our water supply specifically, but also not near any type of suburban neighborhoods.
At this data center, they want to put 1 million gallons, up to 1 million gallons of diesel fuel, which could leak, catch on fire. We don't know what's going to happen.
Maxwell says they've never had any trouble with diesel fuel on site before. He says energy-wise, they won't be overloading the grid or making prices go up for residents.
The average citizen will not see their taxes, will not see their energy, will not see their water rates go up because of this.
Greater St. Louis Inc. says the project would bring 700 to 1,000 construction jobs and 50 permanent jobs. 2 council members have already released statements about the project. Justin Faust says, quote, supporting this proposal would be nearly impossible. There is a public hearing before the city council votes on Tuesday at 7 o'clock. Due to a larger than expected crowds, the meeting has been moved to the St. Charles Convention Center.
Tonight, St. Charles and St. Peter's are no longer under a water boil advisory. More than 100,000 people were affected after a private contractor damaged a water pipeline on Thursday. St. Charles officials now say the water remains safe at all times and there's no need to change filters, flush pipes, or discard ice. Boeing workers are entering their 3rd week on strike. The machinists union hit the picket lines on August 4th after rejecting 2 contract offers. No word on any new talks. One Boeing worker tells 5 on your side the union is planning another large gathering at the gates tomorrow morning like they did last Monday. Tomorrow, many public school students in Missouri will head back to school. It's the first day for St. Louis Public Schools, Rockwood, Parkway, Francis Howell, Wentzville, and many more districts. And a big change this year, cell phones and devices are now banned in K through 12 schools across the state. Phones will be allowed in emergencies and to accommodate a student's disability or medical needs. Nearly 2,000 St. Louis Public School students are starting the new year in new schools after the May tornado damaged several buildings. For many families, this adds extra stress to the first day of school. Counselors say anxiety and uncertainty are normal as kids adjust to new classrooms and routines. Parents and schools can help by creating a supportive environment and keeping communication open.
Anxiety Quite a bit of anxiety, fear. We might see some isolation. It's a lot to take in. So they're still trying to process the displacement.
The district is providing social workers and therapists to support students, and we have more information and resources in the As Seen on TV section on KSDK.com. The Today in St. Louis team will be here all throughout the morning to help you get your kids out the door for the first day of school. Our coverage begins at 5 a.m. on 5 on Your Side. It'll continue all the way till 9 a.m. on our 5+ streaming app. You can download that app and watch it for free on your Roku, Apple, Fire, Samsung, or LG TV.
Camp is where the heart is.
They don't treat you like you have some heart condition. They treat you like you're normal.
Tonight we take you to the summer getaway where they heal the souls of kids with broken hearts.
It's a really special place.
It was yet another weather impact alert day because of excessive heat across the region today. Tomorrow we've got a few more storms, but relief is in the forecast. That's thanks to this cold front. We'll detail out what that means for our region coming up.
Making a Difference is sponsored by Midwest Bank Center.
As kids get ready to go back to school, some are already missing camp. But at one camp in Missouri, the memories run deeper than s'mores and sing-alongs. They're literally matters of the heart. In tonight's Making a Difference report, the summer camp where your medical history is your ticket in.
On your mark, get set, go!
In Eureka, Missouri, there's a place where what makes you different makes you the same. And where scars are badges of honor. Welcome to Camp Rhythm, a summer camp created by St. Louis Children's Hospital for kids with heart defects. Here, the most important medicine isn't found in a bottle, it's found in belonging.
Coming here, it definitely changed my life. I met lifelong friends that I still hang out with to this day. And putting rubber bands on, you can put as many as you want down, okay?
Tess Fessler, who first came here as an 11-year-old camper in 2005,
And go like that with it.
was born with a broken heart.
My brother and I were both born with what's called hypoplastic right heart syndrome. Can we do like a teal?
Which means the right side of her heart never fully formed.
Perfect.
Growing up different can be isolating.
You're gonna toss it and catch it.
Just ask 17-year-old Grant Bullinger, who was born with multiple heart defects and depends completely on a pacemaker. But here at Camp Rhythm, no one sees your diagnosis before they see you.
They don't treat you like you're different, like you do at school. They don't treat you like you have some heart condition. They treat you like you're normal.
And if you didn't know better, you'd swear this was just like any other summer camp. Water slides, swimming pools, tie-dyeing shirts, even a visiting clown. The only difference? These campers are under the watchful eye of guardian angels in scrubs.
We're able to keep a close eye on kids, make sure they're hydrated and not getting too overheated. So you got this running on the pool.
Julie Stump has been the nursing director since the camp's very first year.
Know where your water is and so you can stay hydrated and cool.
She and her team of volunteer nurses and doctors from Children's Hospital sacrificed their vacation time to create what's essentially a place where healing happens through happiness.
We see some of these kids that we didn't think might leave the hospital, and now they're out here climbing up a rock wall and doing cannonballs in the pool.
Squeeze it just a little bit. There you go.
Kids like 13-year-old Jordan Flowers, who's endured 5 heart surgeries and sometimes at home feels left behind.
Sometimes I run out of breath when I run or play basketball, and others don't.
Yeah, and they don't understand why you're running out of breath, right? But here, everybody's the same. So how does that make you feel that everybody's the same here?
That I feel that I belong.
Do you guys have all the colors you need at this table?
That sense of belonging is exactly what drew Tess back year after year, first as a camper, then as a counselor. And inspired by this place, she eventually became a nurse and is now camp director.
How long do you think you'll continue to do this?
Forever. Forever.
Some kids go to camp to get away from home. These kids go to camp to come home.
It's a really special place.
At Camp Rhythm, it's not about fixing hearts, it's about filling them.
And this year, Camp Rhythm celebrated its 20th anniversary. A reminder, if you know someone making a difference for others, let me know by email at mbush@ksdk.com. Okay, we remain under a weather impact alert tonight. Meteorologist Lance Blocker tracking more dangerous heat and chances for spot storms as Missouri students head back to school this week. Lance?
Yeah, it's going to be a warm and muggy start to today. Tomorrow out at the bus stop. Check out the forecast here. By 7 a.m., we're already in the upper 70s, lower 80s by 8. Sunrise tomorrow morning, 6:18. So keep that in mind. And once the sun comes up, it's going to warm up quickly to the upper 80s by 10 a.m. 88 degrees. Typical summertime type weather for us here, but it's still going to be a little bit warmer than average. So that does mean we're under that weather impact alert for us tomorrow. Of course, one of the things I always like to remind folks, I know we've been through this a number of times now this summer, but make sure your pets have access to cold water. And of course, bring them inside if you can. I mean, tomorrow is going to be another hot day. That's why the heat advisory remains in effect for us here again tomorrow, but hopefully the last day for a little bit of time here. I'll show you why in just a moment. Tomorrow morning, everything starts out nice and quiet. Don't have any expectation of any showers or storms to start the day, but we do expect to see a few develop during the afternoon hours. The peak heating of the day, similar to what we saw today. And we'll see a few of those could be on the stronger side with some heavier downpours, frequent lightning possible, but not expecting anything severe, or at least nothing widespread severe wise. Again, that's tomorrow, about a 30% chance of rain for any one given location. So if you have plans tomorrow afternoon, don't cancel them. It should stay dry for most locations. As we get to Tuesday, though, a little bit different story. We're going to get a little bit more of widespread coverage thanks to a cold front that's on its way Tuesday evening. This is Tuesday morning. Forecast models have liked this output. This could impact your morning commute here with scattered showers. The storm is likely to start out the day. And then as we move through the afternoon, a few more could bubble up as well. This is through 4:15 again for Tuesday. So tomorrow isolated, Tuesday more scattered variety. And once again, they fizzle out as the sun goes down. The bigger story will be what happens after the front. The cooler, at least less hot temperatures. We go from the mid 90s on Tuesday, mid to upper 80s. We'll take that. Mid 80s on Thursday as well. The good news here, too, is that we could actually be in a little bit of a tradition, or it might stick around for a little bit, at least not the high heat over the extended forecast period. So the front moves through here Tuesday. Again, a 40% chance of rain, a little bit better coverage than tomorrow. I kept a 20% in here for Wednesday, mainly during the morning hours. But then as we move through the rest of the forecast period here, you can see the temperatures begin to rebound, upper 80s Friday and Saturday. But again, hopefully we'll stick around the low to mid 80s in the extended forecast period.
It's time to go on the move. I'm Paul Cook, your traffic guy from Today in St. Louis, updating you on that massive project to improve I-70. This update is all about the ramp that takes you from Route 61 to westbound I-70 in Wentzville. MoDOT is closing that ramp for the next 45 days. This work is necessary to make way for a new third-lane cruiser building across the entire state on I-70. The $2.8 billion construction project will continue through 2028. Okay, so now let's talk about the detour. Drivers need to pass that closed ramp and continue south on Route 61 until you hit the 70 eastbound ramp, which is about a mile later. Then exit at A, turn around, and use the westbound exit. But keep in mind, you could always use Wentzville Parkway as well. Good luck, leave early, and stay safe. Paul Cook, 5 on your side.
Pragmatic about peace, the Ukrainian president's message just hours before his return to the White House. Just hours from now, President Trump will host a big meeting at the White House with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and several European leaders. This comes just 3 days after President Trump's high-stakes summit with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Alaska. The U.S. trying to negotiate a peace deal between the two countries. Putin launched the war in 2022.
We have to stop the killings. Putin has many demands, but we do not know all of them. It's impossible to do this under the pressure of weapons. So it's necessary to cease fire and work quickly on a final deal.
Tomorrow's meeting comes nearly 6 months after that heated exchange in the Oval Office between President Trump and President Zelensky. Widespread protests tonight across Israel. Thousands of people hit the streets across the country demanding an end to the war in Gaza and the return of hostages being held by Hamas. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says ending the war without defeating Hamas will delay the release of hostages and embolden the terrorist group. The United States is now suspending visitor visas for Gazans. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says the move is necessary because of new evidence showing some organizations arranging the visas have ties to Hamas and other terrorist groups. Eric and Lyle Menendez will get another shot at freedom this week. A California parole board is expected to hand down its decision. The brothers were sentenced to life in prison for the 1989 murders of their parents. Earlier this year, they were resentenced with the possibility of parole. If the board grants them parole, California Governor Gavin Newsom has 30 days to reverse the decision. Well, summer vacation is over, but not the summer heat. Lance will tell us how hot it will be at the bus stop tomorrow morning.
The 5+ TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time.
Rain is moving our way tonight.
Track how the weather will impact your day.
Tracking these storms.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
Live in downtown St. Louis.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. 5+. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We're part of the community and contributing to the community, and I think it's important that our bank do the same thing.
It is incredibly important for our customers to know that the bank is there for them.
It's been a wonderful relationship.
Hot summer savings at Jack Schmidt Chevrolet at Wood River. Shop Jack Schmidt's huge selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. Hurry! At these prices, they'll sell fast. If you haven't purchased a vehicle from Jack Schmidt Chevrolet at Wood River, then you don't know Jack Schmidt.
The decision to place a loved one in a nursing home is a really hard one, and you put a lot of trust into the facility you choose. Sadly, nursing home abuse cases are on the rise. Thousands of claims are made every year, covering everything from physical and emotional abuse to financial exploitation and neglect. If you suspect that someone you love is a victim of reckless or inadequate care in a nursing home, call Brown & Crouppen for your free consultation now.
Where does confidence come from? It's not from within. It must be pursued. Confidence is not a mindset, it's an achievement. In the GMC Sierra HD AT4X. Get 5.9% APR on GMC Sierra heavy-duty models. That's over $4,000 in average finance savings.
Summer's here, and it's time to bring the heat in a new Honda. Head out for an unforgettable adventure, or take a sporty sedan for a spin, all while driving with confidence. See what makes Honda the Kelley Blue Book Best Value brand. Right now, you can get a 3.49% APR on a 2026 HR-V.
Before we go tonight, let's get one more update from Lance with our weather impact alert. Lance.
Yeah, it's going to stay warm and muggy overnight tonight. That means it'll be warm and muggy to start out the day tomorrow as well. Temperatures in the upper 70s to lower 80s by 8 a.m. So the bus stop forecast shows, again, muggy conditions, and then we warm up through the afternoon. We should stay dry till after 12 o'clock tomorrow. Then we could see a few isolated showers or storms. Check out the 10-day forecast, though. The next 2 days, hot. That point forward, though, a cold front moves through. Big changes arrive in the next week. Highs only topping out in the mid to upper 80s, but we're really looking forward to the lower 80s. That's as we round out the next 10 days. So a comfortable forecast. Just got to get through the next couple days.
Lance, thanks. And there you have it, 5 on your side at 10. We're always streaming on 5+. Don't forget to start your day with Today in St. Louis beginning at 5 a.m. They've got the back to school coverage tomorrow. Sports Plus with Frank Cusimano is next.